appearances in 3 consecutive seasons and the 2020 Cup Series title. Spot on, spot off, Brett.
Obviously, spot off. I mean, like Chris said, we need our most popular driver in the playoff and the postseason. I mean, it's like the Dallas Cowboys having a crappy year, after winning the Super Bowl the year before. But, listen, people like Bubba Wallace benefited from it. I mean, if you put Chase and Bowman back into this thing and they run every single race, it changes who potentially is 15th and 16th and who makes it in and who doesn't, right? So it's part of racing, and I am of the belief when Chase Elliott injured himself that's part of life. It was an accident. The guy's snowboarding, right? He's not doing anything that's overly dangerous, not at the level to which he can snowboard. So it sucks, but I really feel like, and we talked about this on here a few weeks ago, this team isn't leading laps. And if you're not leading laps, you're not going to win races. And it's not. Chris Rice, would you hire Alan Gustafson tomorrow if you had a chance?
Oh, good gracious, yeah. Yeah, he's good.
I mean, he's one of the best.
Yeah.
So it's not a crew chief thing. It's not a driver thing. They've got to find some speed. And honestly, the pressure's finally off of them. The pressure's been
They'll win. They'll probably win all of the races in the playoffs.
The pressure has been immensely on Alan Gustafson and Chase Elliott ever since Chase Elliott got back in the car after missing all those races.
You try to find ways to manufacture wins. Like you're not racing for the win. You're trying to manufacture it, right? Like because they haven't qualified well, they haven't done things that they needed to do. And what I mean by that is you got to do something different.
Perfect example is Watkins Glen. They ran out of gas trying to do something different.
And it messes you up mentally. I don't care what you say. It messes you up mentally no matter what. So we need him in there. So I would say
spot off.
Yeah, spot off, whatever you want to call it. But I hate he got hurt, right? Like the drivers and people have to have fun. So we can't say, oh, don't go have fun. So, I hate he got hurt.
So I know you just use Justin as an example. Justin likes to go run his dirt modified every once in a while. Like, does he have to get permission from the team? Like, obviously you're never going to tell these guys they can't. You can never do something, but like each time he wants to go run, like how does that process work?
Well, he does, but we done a deal with him where if he wants to run his modified, go run it as many times as you can. Actually, we wanted him to go run his modified to race more. AJ's situation, he doesn't want to race, right? He wants to go play golf. So, but he ran the GMS truck one time. He had to get permission, but we want those guys to go race. I'm kind of on the fence when we look at the sprint cars. I think Kyle Larson does a really good job. I watch them every night. Thank goodness for the high limits racing because I watch them every time they own. But I'm on the fence with that.
We love Dirt Vision.
Dirt Vision, love Dirt Vision, whatever you want to say. I love Flo. I think Flo's great. So, but it's one of those things where you got to go race because they need racecraft. Yeah. These kids need racecraft, so they need to race as much as they can.
I don't think Kyle Larson. I think that's in his words when he comes in there. Can I race a sprint car? Okay, now we'll talk.
Yeah. That's a box got to get checked.
He honestly didn't think Hendrick Motorsports was going to be an option because he didn't think they would let him race them. And he and Jeff Gordon got together with the help of a driver that I used to work with. He facilitated a conversation, and they were like, if we get a chance to get a talent like this, we'll let you race whatever the hell you want.
He is fun to watch.
And it helps. And then that allowed, by them letting Kyle do that, it allowed William and Chase to go. And they go run these super late model races. And it's amazing.
Alex Bowman.
Yeah, Bowman. He went. Unfortunately, he got hurt. But, he was running sprint car a bunch. He's running his midget some. But then you see when you see the crowds of people at these races when these guys go short track racing, and it's phenomenal. Like
packed.
What they can do for the sport just by showing up to a late model race is it's only benefiting us.
I think I'm on Chris's side here when he says the seat time they're getting, they're learning, they're sharp, and not to mention if Alex Bowman doesn't go run that sprint car, maybe he's snowboarding and breaks his you know what I mean? You never know. You can't stop these guys from living life.
One thing before we jump out of spot on, spot off, I just want us to touch on it. Like when you look at Daytona, right, and I've been landing there for 20-something years, and every time I land there.
You had tears in your eyes Saturday.
I literally, but I get excited when I land there, no matter what time of year.
You want to spot again next year?
Probably, yes.
Yes.
Did you say full-time?
I did say full-time.
No, you snuck that in on me. I don't know if we're there yet. But literally, I get excited driving into that tunnel. I don't know how a driver can land there and drive into that tunnel and be excited. Because when you look back at Jeff Bodine's wreck in that truck getting into one, you look at Ryan Newman's wreck.
You're saying not be excited. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You look at Austin Dillon's wreck. Look at Ryan Blaney on Saturday night. Look at Ryan Priest. It's a bad time to be a Ryan, by the way. Ryan Preece on Saturday night. Like, how in the hell did these guys have the balls? We were talking about balls earlier. Chris gave us balls. How do you have enough balls to buckle in and do what these guys do at that place?
Because it's still fun, man. You get out there and race it. It's still, if that's us on go-karts drafting, dude, you're having a blast.
It's their job.
Yeah, and they're not.
They
normal.
decided it.
Yeah, they're not normal to begin
They're
with.
not
They
normal.
decided it. I agree. I'm not getting in that car. I drove one of them Daytona ride-along experiences down there. Scared the shit out of me. I'm telling you. I rode in an Indy car one time. Scared the shit out of me.
No, I'm not doing that now. When I run Indy cars there, I'm not going.
I went to Indianapolis, rode in it, and my helmet wanted to fly off. And dude, I'm not a small dude. I'm a big dude, and I'm sitting in this thing trying to hold my helmet on. And I'm like, please pull over. Just pull over.
We see people on social media, even some in the industry, that are saying this racing has to go away. But in my mind, this is what makes them heroes. This is what makes them have superpowers. Because I ain't fucking doing it.
These guys are brave, and they're really, really good at what they do. And to see the guys that are really good at, like going to the road courses, he's different there. He stands out. You go to these places, we got guys that stand out as well. This is what they're good at. I mean, how many... You take Dale Jr. there, guys like that. They were always competitive, man, because they're good at it. And it's fun
Dale,
to watch.
I don't know this for a fact, but probably Dale Jr. retired because of the Daytonas and Talladegas. He loves running Martinsville and Bristol. I think he's running Martinsville this year or Bristol.
He's running
Homestead.
He's running Homestead.
somewhere
place
else, too.
Yeah, place he loves those. But ask him, will he run Daytona?
Never.
You know what I'm saying? And
He's not getting back in there now.
That's
for
how
sure.
Elliott.
That's
Elliott
one of
was
our
the same way, no?
most popular drivers that's ever been, Dale Jr. So
Elliott, well, and maybe I shouldn't even tell the story, but I love Elliott enough. I don't think he'll get mad at me. Elliott
Sadler?
Yeah. Elliott was sitting at Talladega under a red flag, and he said, what the am I doing out here? I'm 40-something years old. I got kids at home. I'm going to play baseball.
I got millions.
I got millions of dollars. But literally, like, I mean, it's like the bell goes off. And it's like, ding, what am I doing, right? But when you look at this thing, what was the first thing that Ryan Preece said in a tweet after he damn near died in that race car?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm coming back.
Yeah, and he said on there, if you're going to be a race car driver, you better be tough. Like, and we say it all the time, like, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. Like, it's an addiction for these guys.
That dude has raced so many modified races to get where he's at, and he's amazing in a modified, probably one of the best since Richie Evans, I would say. I would put Ryan Preece right up there with that. Richie Evans was great. I mean, he's going to come back. He's going to figure it out. They haven't run the best this year, so now he's in revenge mode, I think.
And he was competitive in that race too. Like, so he's got the butt. He wants to be back up there.
Yeah, I thought Chandler Smith wrecked him right there in the middle of 1 and 2. He moved him up the hill, and
when
I
he
was
followed
like,
him in there. Yeah.
Oh boy, this might be big.
Oh yeah, into one. Yeah.
Yeah.